Alrighty guys, well it's time to turn this house into a realistic house, and so obviously you guys can see here is that on the siding you have these little bit of these wood beams. We could definitely use a bit of a better texture here, and so our goal for this house is to improve it. We're not going to fully renovate it, we're going to improve what is already here. So we've definitely had some better textures added to the game, such as these wide horizontal planks that we can definitely add into this house. Although I think this one was probably more consistent and better for us to use. And so you know what, there we go. Now we have to do the bricks over here. And I think using these type of bricks is a lot better of an option. I just like the way those look. I think that will look better for our build. Now we have the windows. Since they're pretty classic in the starter house, I feel like I can keep them and just add shutters onto them. Since that's not really much of a problem, you know what, shutters are perfectly fine with me. We just have to change the texture up a little bit. I don't know, I guess something like that works. And of course the roof definitely needs change because who puts wood on their roof? Shingles is the much better option for the roof. And there you go. Now of course we have this tree, which I feel like we've had better trees in BLOXBURG. I feel like we've definitely added some really good trees over the years. One of them being the birch tree. I just feel like that's the most realistic tree that we have at this moment. So by painting that some good colors, yeah, that looks really cool. That looks awesome. All right, there you go. And then this mailbox area, we can just have a typical mailbox here. Add in a rolling trash can because that's pretty typical as well. Just put that like right here. And we'll even give it its own mat for you to place the trash can on so it doesn't, like, I don't know, get caught in the grass. There you go. But okay, I'm already liking the exterior of this home a lot more. Let's just toss these shutters all around the house. And now we definitely need a better front door, which I actually don't hate this front door. It's not a bad front door. Although I feel like we've added plenty of other front doors throughout the years. And I think this is a good front door here. Just that arched panel door. I feel like that's a great addition. So let's definitely get rolling with this door here. Yeah, something like that. And then by utilizing a wall lamp out here, that also is another great addition for us. And never forget your doorbells. Definitely need a doorbell out here. And I feel like this roof probably needs a chimney, especially around the kitchen area. We could definitely use some ventilation, so we'll toss a basic chimney up here. And there you go. Now I think it's time for the inside, which this is where chaos happens. So starting with the ceiling, we have a new sequins texture, which I think is better for those like kind of popcorn ceiling looks. So we're gonna use sequins in here. And I think I wanna start with the kitchen. I feel like that'd be a great spot to work with. The first thing I wanna do is change our kitchen flooring to this rectangular tile. I feel like that's just a very classic kitchen flooring. And we can definitely use this plain marking here to kind of distinct, hey, this is where the kitchen flooring starts and this is where the wood flooring ends. Next, we definitely need a different backdrop wall here. So for that backdrop, we can add in these small rounded tiles and have that along the kitchen here where we will add in our cabinets next. So let's put a fridge cabinet right here. And so the trick I'm actually going to do here is, since I have these cabinets like this, I'm going to use the tall wall molding and make that be the backdrop of our kitchen. And then there will be a different wall texture up there. I think that's very useful, and I did change out these curtains here, so this is a new curtain for us, and we can definitely experiment with some colors. I just think something like that blue definitely fits this kitchen, but it's already looking a bit better. Now we need to rework our counter space. So starting off, we need a new fridge. BLOXBURG has added plenty of fridges over the years, and I think using this Arctic fridge is going to be our best bet. And we can definitely use the Pro Chef stove. And I think a shaker counter is probably our best bet here just for a regular countertop. As far as I'm concerned, that's pretty good. And then we will extend this counter space all the way out here. Next up, one of my favorite things to have on counters is probably granite. I like having granite counters. I think those are a nice addition to anybody's builds. And so there you go. I'm not entirely sure what this half wall is doing here, but we can definitely rework that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place a regular wall and a pillar over here. And then we can utilize the wall cutouts, otherwise known as the basic openings. These are also a newer addition to BLOXBURG, and I definitely like using them in my builds. I just think that's a nice addition to have right there. You can place plenty of things in these basic openings, such as plants, so why not toss just a little plant up here? And maybe you can even add in like a candle. There you go. Let's finalize the kitchen here by adding some wood to our cabinets. So wood is very common in kitchens here, and I think that is a nice addition there. The reason why I like using these half cabinets is because you can add some extra storage right above. For instance, these little pumpkin decorations I think are really cool, and so you can definitely toss things like these up here. We can even get ready for Christmas with a mini holiday tree up there. There's plenty of things though that you can add, and yeah, just adding in tiny decorations like that definitely helps out. So the next off, we definitely need a sink, and that's definitely an important part here in the kitchen. So we'll just toss a sink right in there. And then if we utilize a wooden plank, we can keep this granite going above the stove. So the tiny trick that I don't know how many people know about But if you just notice when something's just not right, like me, this definitely helps out. You can just toss it right on in here, and boom, there you go. I feel like it would also be nice to have a nice rug for our sink. So we can definitely add in a bit of a mat here. And then something that I like to add on my stoves is if you use the wooden planks here, you can actually add it as if it's like a little hand towel. This is a detail I use in a lot of my builds, so make sure you try to incorporate that in yours as well. I like that a lot. We definitely need a new light in here though, so let's get a new light for sure. And I feel like for a home like this, just using a fan would be really nice. I guess you could say I'm a big fan of that. Why aren't you laughing? Okay, that was pretty bad, I'm sorry. Next up, we're going to add in a vertical plank over here, just so that way this room feels a little bit more separated. And there you go. And again, we are keeping this original yellow here because that yellow is not that bad. I don't think it's that bad at all. Although we can definitely add in a flat baseboard. Baseboards, they always help no matter what you're building. Let's see it, chuck some of those in. And if you're wondering, hey, how do I do this on the corners here where it's like sticking out a little bit? All you have to do is just make a basic shape the same height as your wall trim and just extend it around your pillar or whatever you're trying to make. So as you can see, wraps around both of those perfectly. Now while we want to keep the color of this wall, we probably should change the texture up just a little bit. And I feel like if we're going for realistic vibes, I think the leather texture actually makes this wall kind of pop. I actually really like the way that looks. Just don't tell people that your walls are made out of leather. I don't think they would like that. But we are living in America after all, so who knows. I'm going to connect my TV here to the outlet, just as another tiny detail, but I can work that area later. Let's work on our entryway. So walking into a house, you obviously want to kind of feel a bit welcome. So we can definitely have a bit of a mudroom right here, where we can utilize a bench, and even a wardrobe for all of your clothes whenever you walk inside. So instead of having the bench, I feel like I could add in like an ottoman over here, just so you can take off your shoes. It's highly requested in this house here. We got to keep our floors clean. I don't know. And then you can obviously add some pillows onto this if you want as well. It says a little bit of a backrest. Actually, decorative pillows probably are just the best bet. So we can add like a fall leaves pillow. And I even have a Christmas one as well in here somewhere. Yep, there you go. Now you have the dining table, which it's very interesting. So I think first off, we're going to get a new light. Let's get a chandelier in here. And that light's not bad at all. Now let's get a new table because that's a big need. And I feel like we should be able to fit 4 people at this table. I just feel like that makes sense. So if we get this round dining table here, we'll be able to fit 4 people at our dining table. I just think that is much nicer, you know? If you got people coming over, you gotta be able to fit them all on your table, man. You just have to. We're gonna also add in our new curtains inside the house, just since I like those curved ones a little bit more. And then in the dining table here, we can add in just a nice food basket, or a basket of lemons. And let's not have concrete as our carpet. I feel like that would, you know, that probably wouldn't be very comfortable to be on, so let's get a new carpet here. Even something as simple as that is fine. And so there you go. Now we can go to the living room, which it's very old. It's a very old living room. I don't like this corner here. This corner looks like a timeout corner, and I don't like that, so we should probably add in like a little lounge chair over here. I think that's fine. And since our house gets pretty warm, we're gonna add in another fan. This one being the traditional fan. We'll take out this bookshelf for now, and we will also take out this couch, because we need a new couch, don't we? I feel like over here we can have like a contemporary armchair and a contemporary sofa. That way you can still walk through the living room, but you also have a bit more seating. Since if you can seat 4 people at the dining table, you should be able to seat 4 people here in the living room as well. I feel like that math just makes sense. If you disagree, I don't know why you would, but good for you, I guess. So we're just gonna make some minor adjustments here. We don't want to make this build be too expensive. And then on the wall for our wall decor, you can add things like a calendar. Actually, probably add that in the kitchen. And then over here, you can have like a family tree plaque. Then we can also go into the frames category and add in some images of our beautiful family. Something like that is fine. There you go. And I just feel like the interior of this house is a bit improved. I think we did a great job with this, but we are not done yet. We're definitely gonna need some new doors here to get into our respective rooms. So let's use our arch panel door, so that way that's a consistent theme throughout our house. And if we can readjust it just a little bit, which we can, there you go. Now you can see the whole entire door at least. So that's good. First off, I want to work on the bedroom here because this bedroom's very interesting. So you only have room for 1. And I think since this is the only bedroom, you can send the other 2 people in your house to go sleep on the couch. Sure, that's fine. But we definitely need 2 people in this bed. So for a house like this, I feel like using the modern double bed would work best. And then we can include that end table here that we had. Adding in a lamp over there definitely helps too. Although we have this ridiculous blue wallpaper. Now, not entirely sure why we have this in here, but we definitely need something new. And I don't know, we can use plaster on the wall, I guess. And then we need new curtains, so let's get those in here. And we could definitely use a light switch. I think that would be useful for our bedroom. Then up at the ceiling, we need a new light too, which you guessed it, we're gonna be using another fan. I feel like bedrooms especially though, definitely have a lot of fans, so that one I think is fine to get away with. Then we're just gonna put a little bench here at the front of the bed, so you can sit here and put your shoes on or clothes on and all that stuff. And now let's paint our bed. And there we go, we have a bit of a bed going on. It's nice. Now over here, you do have a dresser. And so instead of having this painting there, I think I'd rather have a mirror. I'd like to be able to see myself somewhere in this room, so I can put the floor mirror over here, but I can also have a face mirror on the dresser here. And then I can just toss that dresser right there and add in a stool for you to have when you're just, I don't know, checking yourself out, I guess. And then these sliding doors we can repaint as well. I don't know, why is the handle blue? What in the world? What kind of decision is that? The handle to the sliding door is blue. No, let's just make that like a gray. And you know what, having a rack of clothes in there, that's the one thing I agree with. There we go. This is not a bad bedroom at all. Now we have this bathroom, which you walk in and you're instantly greeted by the shower, which I'm actually not the biggest fan of. So I think there's plenty of ways that we can redo this. So I'm just gonna completely scrap this bathroom and rework it. First off, using the dotted tiles actually doesn't sound like a bad idea. And then for our walls, we can use the subway tile, while having one wall still remain that yellow. Then we just continue to add our floor trim here throughout the house. And so there you go. And I think at the back here, it'd be nice to have a walk-in shower. So you can definitely use a modern tile shower, but instead of using the tile, we are going to use concrete. And then in this tiny area right here, you can add in that toilet, adding toilet paper right there. And then of course a plunger for regain rise. Then over here, we can add in a sink. The sink gets a big mirror. And then of course you're gonna need towels for whenever you come out of the shower. Let me just add a couple of those. Now we also need a bathroom mat. This time it actually is in the bathroom, so that's good. And then we can just use some typical lighting in here, along with a vanity lighting. I haven't used a vanity lighting in forever, but using the modern vanity lights work out well in this situation. And there you go. I think that is your bathroom. And that is my entire renovation of this starter house.